Hello again, and welcome back to my channel where we are always learning more Unity stuff. So if you want to learn game dev, you are in the right place. And a few videos ago, I shared with you guys that I am working in my portfolio game. Now I want to share with you what's going on with this project because I think there are some cool stuff going on here. And as a bonus, I want to teach you, if you know Unity, how I added controller support to this project. I don't know if it's only me, but I have a really hard time trying to keep my focus in one project for more than, I don't know, maybe a week. Because at this point, maybe after a week, I know that I can do the thing, so the challenge is over, and I lose the interest. This is a problem that I have, but for some reason, this project is different. This portfolio is growing and getting cooler. And I think the reason is because I am always adding new challenges to this project. So this way I am always motivated. I always have a next step, next challenge to do. And the critical moment is right after I finish some feature. This is the moment that I am kind of lost and I don't know where to go. And this is where my motivation is lost. So the strategy here is to always have a next step. As soon as I finish something, I have something next. And another powerful trick that I noticed over the last week is that having contact with games, so watching gameplays, playing games, can do a lot to keep you motivated. For example, I found a channel in YouTube that the guy is focused in playing incremental games. And I watched he playing 2, 3, 4 hours of the game. And over the time, those incremental games uses a lot of different features. They are really cool. And as the guy's playing, I am thinking, hey, I could do this. I could implement this feature. This is a cool one. And so you have some glimpses of what is the next thing that you want to do. And of course, going back to the classics, Half-Life, the big reference that I have, The Sims, some simulator games, I don't know. Those guys, when I watch them, I watch the gameplay, it always emerges a lot of ideas and it helped me to know what is the next step for my project. Just to give you a real example of how this is important to the life of the game developer, in my life, well, one of my friends gave me the game called F1. So it's a racing game based on the F1 series, so Formula 1. And if you don't know, it's a really challenging game because you have to do everything perfectly. And by default, the game is always providing you some assistance. So when you're controlling the car, it's kind of you're controlling the car, but the game is also helping you to brake in the correct amount and help you to turn correctly. So you have a lot of assistance so you don't spin the car and things like this. And I decided to challenge myself to know what is the game without the assistance. And the game turns into an impossible thing because now keeping your car inside the track is a challenge, not spinning is a challenge, and everything is different. It's really hard, but at the same time, it's ultra rewarding because when you finish an entire lap without spinning, it's like a big achievement. You felt it, you owned it, you earned it. It's different. And don't get me wrong, I am really bad at this game. For you to have an idea, the last time that I played, I was out of the race. So I grabbed my controller, put on my table, go to the kitchen, and eat something because I could not finish the race because I was so bad at it. But in any case, what really matters to me here is how my mind changed. So before I was playing the game thinking about the end of the race, my position. So basically the game was the end of the race and I was just struggling to try to get a reward by the end of the race. And now with all the variables that I have to work with the no assistance mode, the game is the race itself. So when I correctly turn, when I don't spin, I am rewarding myself. I am enjoying the game because I know how hard it is and I did it. And it's a different thing. So basically, this is something that I wanted to share with you. And by playing a racing game and driving, I realized that in my portfolio, I could bring some driving feature. And it helped me a lot because I have already a course teaching how to implement cars in Unity. So I just followed my own courses to bring this feature to my game, to my portfolio game, and now we have driving cars. So let me show you what we get. And initially I planned to make it a third-person camera for the vehicle, but I noticed that the first-person camera feels really good, feels more immersive, so I'll keep this one. And then I decided to implement rear window mirrors, and it was a good feature, and I'll keep it. And I tried also to implement a rear window mirrors for the sides of the car. I don't know how it's named in English, and I searched it, but all I see is rear window. So basically the side mirrors that we have in the cars. I tried to implement it, but I don't know, it feels too convoluted, too much information in the same screen, even though it feels kind of cool. But I think it's better only with the top rear window mirror. So keep this way. And I think this is a small demo. I think we can discuss it later. I can record a dedicated video about the vehicle stuff, but just sharing with you what we have here. And the feature that I'm talking about is support for controllers. Because when we're developing, usually we are in our computer, so we have the keyboard and mouse and that's it. But if you want to scale the thing, usually you want to be able to port your game to a different platform, not only PC. And this is why I decided to add the controller support. Not because I am planning to port my portfolio game to a video game, but just to show that we can do it, we know how to do the things, we know how to organize our project and prepare for this kind of situation in a real project. And let's start with this. I will open the portfolio, the main menu scene, because there is where all is happening about this. I think it's a better scenario so I can show you the code, and it's really simple, but let's go there. All right, so let me show you the game working in the main menu so we can see what we have here. So basically I have the main menu. I have 5 buttons right here that I can select both using mouse and with the controller itself, and I can select something, everything as expected, right? So let's see, what do we need to do to achieve this behavior with both controller and the keyboard and mouse. So I divided into 4 steps, 4 rules that you need to follow. The first one, all the items in your scene right here, so all the buttons here, they must use actually the button itself. So we have the button component from Unity, use this guy. So create all the options that you have in your UI using the button component. And the second step is to go into your event system, and this guy is created automatically when you create a new button. But if you don't have, you can create here. So I think it's here, UI, canvas, event system. So here is the event system. And inside this event system, when you click here, you have this first select. So the second step is change the first selected here to be the game object that you want to be first selected. It's almost like when, for example, here I have a new game. So what's going on here is as soon as I play the scene, the engine it's behaving as if I have my mouse hovered over this new game here. It's almost like this is happening. So as soon as I press enter or I click I press the select button, the confirm button in the controller, it's going to click in the first selected or the highlighted or the hovered element in the UI. So basically imagine that this guy, it's going to hover your selection or press select the element that you select. So this is the second step. In my case, the new game is the first option that I want. So I want this highlighted as soon as I start the game. Then we need to set the navigation. And this is why we are using the button components here. See, we have the button. And the reason it's because the button component have this navigation system already inside it. And this is going to solve a lot of our problems. Why is that? Because this navigation, it's going to handle how it's going to be, what is going to be selected next when we press up, down, left, right. So we're going to know what's going on. So you need to know what is the next object to be selected in the UI. And here is where the thing happens. But one detail is that it is explicit in my case. So for example, if I create a new button here, UI button right here, and notice that I have these arrows, and by default we have this automatic. So a lot of times I find myself not using this automatic, but selecting none and then explicit, and now I have clear control of what I want to do when I press up or down or left and right. And now it's just a matter of selecting what I want. For example, if I want this button when I press up, I want to select the new game. So I drag the new game here and paste here or drop here in the up. And now you see that in the top region of my game object, it's going an arrow to the new game menu item here. So I can delete, for example, the new game. If I want to be some kind of carousel or loop, I can make the up arrow to select the quit button. And here, as soon as I play, when I press up, it will select this guy right here. Another detail here is that we have the highlighted and the normal and highlighted color. If I'm not wrong, let me check it here just to make sure I'm not teaching something wrong here. But let me hit play, and we have two colors. In my case, I am using the color tint, but you could have swap, it's up to you. But in my case, what really matters is the normal color. Let me see. Yes, normal color doesn't matter. The color that is important here, it's probably highlighted. Let me see. We'll figure this out at runtime here. Yeah, so selected color is the color that we have when we are hovering, basically. So notice now when I go here, and every time that I select this button, the selected color is going to change. So here you have to take care of what's the selected color. And the normal color, here it's another important one. So basically normal color and selected color are the guys that you are worrying about. We're not selected when you're not selecting the normal color, and when you're selecting selected color. So basically this is a setup if you're using. Same thing if you're using the swap. You have the preset and selected. You have to try this to see what is the correct one for your case. But basically, this is the idea when we're selecting, so we know what is selected. And wow, this is a lot of stuff going on here. The next one and the final touch that we need to do is, if you notice, when I am playing my game here, I can swap at runtime between my keyboard and mouse and my controller. For example, here I select this guy, and now if I press the up arrow key, now things are working correctly with the controller. But by default, this is not like this. So when you use the mouse, you lose the track when you're using the controller, so the game will not know which one it's going to highlight, so you have to do it by hand. And how did I solve it? It's really simple. Here in the main menu, and you don't have to do it in main menu, you can put it whatever you want, maybe on UI controller, it's up to you. But the idea is really simple. First, you need the game object to represent the last selected game object. And now, the next step is to update this last selected right here. So we have the update method, and the idea is really simple. Use the event system and give me the current selected game object. Store this into a variable, and if this is not null, well, so this is the last thing that was selected. Really simple, and I'm not sure if this is good for performance, but this is how I saw it right now, and performance is not an issue for this moment. Maybe later I have to change a few things, but for now it's fine for me. I have other things to worry about right now. Okay, now we have the last selected object we're running. And now the next step is to grab the input system event here. So basically, since I'm using the new input system, and for this tutorial, we are talking about the new and not so new input system, we have this own event going on. So basically, this is a class that you can access everywhere. You don't need a reference, and you can grab this own event. And every time that any event happens in the input system, we are going to listen and execute this method right here. So I'm subscribing to any event on the input system. And of course, when we destroy, we unsubscribe. Just make sure you do this because it can generate garbage in your memory. And now let's see what we have here in the on input system. It's really simple. Why I'm using this, because I received this device. So I can check if this device is gamepad. So basically, if it is a controller, we grab the current selected game object in the event system right now. And if it is null, it's really simple. Well, I have nothing to focus, and I just use the controller, but I don't know what to focus. So what we do is force the focus on the last selected object that we have. It's really simple. And I know there is a lot of things going on. Don't worry about those strange taxes here. It's just because I'm using translation. I know that we have a lot of code, that is other stuff, but basically focus on what I'm explaining here and you can achieve the same result. So basically this is how I handle multiple types of inputs for this one. And I think that's it. I think I never talked for so long in a single shot, but that's it. I hope it helps you to improve your game and make it available to support different input devices.
If you really want to dive deeper into game development, I strongly suggest you take a look at my work. I have excellent courses for both beginners and advanced developers. With over a decade of experience in Unity, I am pretty sure you will find an interesting project on my Udemy page, packed with clear, simple, and thoughtful explanations and analogies. And of course, I also provide one-to-one lessons that you can easily find on my LinkedIn page. Thank you very much for your time. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to boost this channel and receive more and more quality content.